Hello, everybody. My name is Stepan Hovnanian. Welcome to Google Plus Business Spotlight. It's a weekly show where we talk about how different businesses are using Google Plus. You know, no theory, no experts coming in. We're just talking about people who are in it, in the trenches every day. How do they use Google Plus? What's working for them? What kinds of tips can we each take? Can we take from them and maybe use it for ourselves? So I want to introduce my guest in a minute, Christopher Jennings Penders from CJPPhotos. He's a local photographer and blogger out in the Connecticut area. Been on Google Plus for a long time, and he's got some great information for us, which I think you guys are going to like from an intent standpoint. I think we're going to talk a lot about that, and it should be really good information. But before we begin, just want to give you guys a couple of quick housekeeping items. This show is kind of centered in the Google Plus for Small Business community. So if you're a member of that community, you have the opportunity to actually be a guest on the show. I would love to bring in some more people who are making Google Plus work for themselves. Just head over to the community and you can go on the right-hand side. There's a little link to I guess you could call it an application or sign-up form. So fill that in, check it out. Would love to be able to showcase your business and have you tell us the things that are working for you. Also, we have a Pinterest board where you can see all past episodes. And actually, that's about it. So without further ado, let's introduce our guest, Christopher Jennings Penders. And Chris, why don't you just tell us a little bit about yourself and what brought you to Google Plus?
Hi. I've been on Google Plus since July 2011. I got a beta invite from somebody in July 2011, and I initially was using it as a platform to share content, news, my blogs, and it wasn't really until about it wasn't really until about a year and a half ago that I really plunged into the business aspect, sharing my photography on Google Plus. It has been exceptional for me. My primary goal here, in regards to my business, is drawing people to my website. So that being the case, generally my routine when I post photos to my business page and to my public profile, I generally post 2 or 3 pictures, and in the content box I will leave a link back to my website.
So no, go ahead. I was just going to say, so it's an interesting, because we were talking about this off air. Your goal is to drive traffic and not necessarily get plus ones, comments, and a whole bunch of engagement that everybody talks about with photos, which do so well on Google Plus. Since the goal is to bring people back to your website, and that's where you convert them, it sounds like you're almost giving everybody a taste, and from there, hey, you can have a lot more over at my website. Sort of saying, here's the photo, but there is more, and I kind of want you to click through. I'm a little less concerned about the pluses in the comments. I'm more concerned about you clicking through. So you're using different kinds of wording and placing the links in there. Is that kind of the strategy?
That's exactly my strategy, and I never try to tell people what to do because everyone has their own philosophy. Everyone has their own strategy. But if you're here on Google Plus and you have a website and you have a business, my philosophy is that you want to direct people to your business, and you want to do your best to create resources for yourself. So Okay, so that's always been my goal. My goal is to direct people to my websites.
That's
That's
awesome, and it's
that's
working. We were
it's
talking about it
it is
beforehand. I mean,
working so well. Since I've been on Google Plus, my stats on my photography site alone, I get about 300 visits a day on my website just via Google Plus.
wow.
In general, my website, look at my photography site, gets about 700 visits a day, and that's a result of keywording. I know the keywording is going away now. It's there's it's it's more like engagement now comes more from social, but okay,
Well, it's a combination, though, isn't it?
yeah,
I mean,
yep. Okay,
you're
but previous to this, my okay, my website's been okay, beginning has been getting that kind of traffic okay for
that's
years.
awesome. That's fantastic, and obviously the more people that click through from somewhere like Google Plus, the more you're still sending those, those social signals. You're still
Yep.
sending those signals out and
Hmm.
saying this is important stuff. I'm sure Google is looking at the amount of time people are spending on the site. I mean, gosh, to be driving half of your traffic from Google Plus,
I know it's
that's
it's.
fantastic, man.
I was I was okay. Even I was surprised.
Yeah.
I was shocked. I was shocked.
Yeah, that's fantastic. So now let's also, I mean, you've been here a long time, obviously. So, and I notice, I think I came across your profile because, being from the New England area, I was always looking for people who are kind of local to me. And who knows, I may have even stumbled on one of your, Patriots posts.
Yeah.
Um, but I think it's one of the things that and by the way, we have a little bit more of Chris's story on the blog, so be sure to check that out as well. You can learn a little bit more about what he does and this strategy that we're talking about today. But one of the things that you said in there is that you got to expect to be here in order for it to work for you.
Oh yeah.
So you can talk a
That
little
goes without
minute
saying.
or two about that.
Goes without saying. Um, I I discovered early on that 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 in order to get engagement, okay, you have to provide engagement,
I love it.
and and the only way you're going to provide engagement, okay, is if you make an effort to be here on Google Plus as much as you can, as much as you can, and the other thing that I feel strongly about is the other way to get engagement is okay, is to share other people's content. I okay, another one of my philosophies is that I always receive greater joy okay when someone else succeeds. It gives me great pleasure to see someone else succeed. Um, and and okay, and I do my best to share okay to share content from okay from everybody because okay because what you give back you're gonna get.
Yeah, I believe that as well. I mean, and I think if you talk to anybody who's been around here long enough, they say in some way, shape, or form, make sure that you're sharing other people's content. People do 80-20 rule, 90-10, blah blah blah. But
Yep.
the fact is, you want to be. You said it perfectly. I mean, in order to, gosh, how'd you say? Now I forget. It's like the more you give, the more you receive type thing.
Yeah. Yep. That's
We need to make that into a meme. Somebody who's watching the event today, go rewind a minute or two and let's put that into a great. There was a great quote
That's been
Chris
my
came up with.
philosophy. That's been my philosophy here, everywhere, everywhere. I always try to give more than I get.
Yep, and you're great with the plus mentions and making sure that there's attribution so that people can come back into your posts. When you're sharing them, you're making sure that people can come into and be engaging, which is obviously, I mean, these are all sort of the basic tenets of being a good steward of sharing content here, especially on Google Plus. Now, so let's shift gears slightly because you also write for Patch, right? For the Madison Patch. So. For those of you who don't know what Patch is, it's basically a hyperlocal, kind of like a news tidbit site or a microblogging site for towns. I mean, almost on the town level, and there's a few hundred of them. I think they're owned by AOL, but who knows if you're watching this later, they may not be. But in any event, I know they encourage a lot of people who are kind of dialed into the community to write about it, and they give them a sort of a forum to do that. Now, you'd started off, you said, on Patch, but have made a slight little shift. I guess sort of because of Google Plus. You want to give us a little insight to that?
I started writing. I've been writing for Patch. Okay, since they came on board, and I write 3 blogs for Patch. All 3 blogs link back to my. Okay, link back to my WordPress sites too.
Okay, so you're using Patch as a springboard back to your own website.
Exactly, and that's what I do. That's what I do with all my content, because I think the most important thing you can do if you're a small business is to engage people on your website. And that's why I create links from Google Plus to my website. That's why I create links from Patch to my 3 blogs, because you want to generate traffic to your websites. That I think is the most important thing you can do. And my photography blog on Patch, I started writing simply on Patch. And then a couple of days after I started writing the blog on Patch, I wanted to understand where people were reading my blog from. And the only way that I could see that would be to create
a website, right?
You would be to create a separate website. So I did that, and since I've used WordPress, since I've been blogging, I decided to go with WordPress again, and so now I have my photography blog on Patch and then WordPress, and when my posts go live, I post them to my business page on Google Plus. I share them. Share them to my. I share them to my public profile on Google Plus. I share them on Patch, and all 3 of these vehicles are driving traffic.
That's great.
Traffic to my. To all 3 of my sites.
And
it's been amazing.
So we could basically sum up your strategy in a way. It's all roads lead back to something that I can control.
Correct.
And in the meantime, everywhere else, I'm being as engaging as possible, and I'm just being as active as possible, because the more people see me on, whether it be Google Plus or whether it be Patch or whether it be, even within search, but we're talking mostly, we're mostly like your your hyper local, your local community where you've become known as someone who photographs the events and the different the landscape around your area. So there's people looking for that would find you very easily on Patch, but like you said, you don't own that, you don't control it. That could shut down tomorrow. So your goal is to use that as like a spoke and as a channel to drive people back over to your website. Same would go with Google Plus to say, okay, now you know about me, you know what I'm all about. Come over to my website, whether you're bookmarking it or whether you're getting on an email list or whether you're just building up a relationship with me. I've got to imagine, because of your approach, I've got to imagine that you have some very, very long-standing, deep relationships that you've built from everywhere. I'm going to probably guess, especially on Google Plus, but I've got to imagine that everywhere else that you're active, is it safe to say that you've built some really great relationships as a result?
I have a story about that. One thing I want to share. I have been so fortunate to be known as a photographer in Madison, Connecticut, more than I'm known in my day job. And one of the examples that I have is, quickly, there's a spiritual center here in Madison called called the Mercy Center, and I was there a couple of Octobers ago, shooting, because my goal is to get every season that I can in my local area. Because I was there in October, and I was running around shooting, and then I noticed this guy driving toward me in a tractor, and I said, "Uh-oh," and as he approached me, I thought he was going to tell me to leave, because I was unaware that I was closed, and as I'm getting ready to leave, he pulled up to me and he says, "Holy cow! You must be the most popular photographer in Madison. I was gonna ask you to leave, but seeing you now, you can stay as long as you want."
Oh, that's awesome.
So one of the things that I've always said is that I might not be the best photographer in Madison, but I think I'm the most well known. Because I'm always out my camera. At all the events, all the parades, everything. My camera is like another appendage. It's like another appendage. I always have it with me. Always.
That's fantastic. And it's funny, because now you saying that, so you're in real life, your camera's always with you, but on Google Plus, you're also always around Google Plus. So it's funny how the two of them seem to be, here's real life success now, like a real life story that says, the more out and about you are and the more well known you become as being that certain type of person, that happens in real life as well as it happens here on Google Plus. And I know that those of us who've been around a while and those of us who are using Google Plus consistently, definitely you see success, you start to see yourself being mentioned, you start to see yourself as an authority, which is cool, because I think that's what ultimately leads to us being as successful as we are. So it's really amazing how you've been able to capture your Google Plus strategy in real life. I think that's an awesome story, man. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. I think at this point we've kind of hit that 20 mark, which, as you guys know, is where we try and cap things off at. So Chris, unless you have any parting thoughts, I think we're just gonna we'll wish everybody a happy holiday and wrap things up.
Okay, the one quick thing I want to say is that I've started now using using my business page to comment via on other content, and that if anyone has a business page out here, I recommend doing that too, because that will draw people to your business page as well. I think that's very important to do.
Epic tip. That is an awesome tip. People aren't going to know about you if all you do is post. You know, that business page, just like, I mean, I've said it before, you've said it here, you know, you have to comment more than you post, to be honest with you.
Yes.
And if you aren't commenting as your business page, you're not doing that. No one's going to know you. Right? Nobody's going to know about you. So that's a fantastic comment, fantastic tip, Chris. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
So we're let's quit while we're ahead, because I'm sure you got a gazillion more. But you know, like I said, we try and hit a certain mark, and I think, gosh, this has been chock full, really amazing story too. I hope everybody's been able to get some great information out of this. And you know, again, I want to thank Chris and CJPPhotos. So definitely, you know, again, go read more about Chris on the blog. You know, feel free to leave any questions here on the event. If you're watching this live, we'll be happy to stick around and answer them for you. You know, check us out on check out the show on Pinterest, subscribe on YouTube, yada yada yada. Definitely do what you can to support small business, Google Plus. Check us out in the community, and we are recording this on the 23rd of December. So Merry Christmas to anybody celebrating coming up. And in the meantime, we'll see you guys next year. We don't have a show next week, so we'll see everybody in January. We're going to talk a little bit about fitness, because we got it's a good time for New Year's resolutions. All right, take care, everyone.
Thank you very much.